Hi, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to continue what I was talking about in my last video. So my Saudi friend had his two friends in California that was studying electrical engineering in California, and they decided to fly in. And I met one of them, one of the brothers, Mohammed, and basically he was here for a very short period of time, like a day or two, and uh, my friend Adele asked me if can I take him to the airport because he had to fly back home. So I said sure, no problem. So he contacted me, and during the ride to the airport, I told him about my idea that I wanted to start an international courier company, and he listened to me, and he seemed interested in everything. And I said fine, and I got him to the airport, and he got on the plane and went back home. He said he took my information, uh, all my contact information, and that was it. So I would say about maybe a month later, uh, I got a phone call about 2 o'clock in the morning, and my wife said, "Who the hell was that calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning?" I said, "That was a guy. I thought I was dreaming actually." I said that was the friend of Adele that I took to the airport, and he went back home to the UAE. And he said, "What do you want?" He said, "Well," he said, "contact Sabina Airlines. There's an airline ticket waiting for you." And so I told my wife, I said, "I thought I was dreaming actually." So the next day, I called Sabina Airlines and I asked them, "Is there a ticket there?" And he said, "Yeah, there's a ticket for you here." And then I had instructions to send my passport to the UAE consulate in Washington because at that time you couldn't go to Dubai just get on a plane and fly. You had to be invited. So I'm talking about 1980. This was so. I sent my passport. I got my visa, and I had a date and everything. And I flew to Dubai. I told my wife I'll be back. I told her I'll call for you. I'll let you know what's going on. She said go, and I did go. And when I got to the airport in Dubai, there was somebody there who met me, uh, handed me an envelope. It had like 3,000, a couple $1,000 in the envelope. I think it was like 3 grand in the envelope, and it was a private car. And they took me to the Hyatt Regency Hotel, which it was right on the Gulf, actually on the water, and it was interesting. It was like half apartment rentals and half hotel, and they had like an ice skating ring, and it was like it's really hot in Dubai. I mean, it's terribly hot, and I remember on the roof itself, it had a revolving restaurant, and they gave me I had a 3 bedroom suite, and then the person who took me to the brought me to the hotel and everything, he said that there'll be somebody to contact you, and don't worry, just stay here and everything will be fine. If you need any food, just call up for food and whatnot. So they actually provided me with a secretary, full-time secretary, and then Muhammad came together with his brother as well, and we had a small powwow and talking, and I told them what my idea was, and they were all on board with it, and they were going to put together a group of investors. And what I needed to do is, now mind you, I was pretty young. It was 1980, so I was only like 30 something years old. It's just early 30s. So they asked me to put together a feasibility study proposal, and I have never done that before. I didn't have any really college education, to do such a thing. But they gave me a secretary, and I actually had to put together a feasibility study, and then it would have to be presented to these investors. So I did it. We actually had a meeting in the Union Bank of the Middle East, and laid out all the proposal, and they accepted it. And there were a group of investors that were going to invest in this company that I was going to start for them. Actually, I wasn't going to be an owner of the company, but I was going to be an officer of the company. So they held a lot of respect for me as far as trusting me and getting it done and doing the right thing. So I had to go back to the States because now they wanted to open offices in the US, in the UK, in Saudi Arabia, in Bahrain, in UAE. And I basically I was the operations manager. So one of the investors had another gentleman, Ahmed Hussein, I think his name was. So he was going to be the administrative officer, and I was going to be the operations officer. So we had to buy tons of things. We had to set up, rent offices, buy office equipment, vehicles for the couriers, and it was a big undertaking, and it was a lot of pressure on me. So they sent me back to the States, to New York, and they wired me. At that time, it was like approximately $200,000, and that was a lot of money. They didn't know me. They just wired the money to me. I had to open bank accounts, and I had to do all that stuff. And then I was in the process of setting up this company. So I'm not going to keep you too long. I'm going to make these videos as short as possible. And I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.